And this is our child.
She's special. I can feel it. We have to take good care of her.
Good job of doing that. There were two things out of the ordinary about that baby. The first, its parents embraced, and the second, they wholly rejected. Although, it was some time before the baby's second peculiarity emerged. And until it finally did, no one was any the wiser. Not even the child itself. Its mother surely enjoyed that brief period of happiness. Oops. Sorry about that. Before her child finally realized the truth. Blind to the fact that the moment it had let out its first cry, everything came crashing down. To this day, she still doesn't know the child she gave birth to. That she set loose a curse upon the world. A curse that turned angels into demons, humans into witches. My God, look at that! Konetsu? Konetsu? Hello, Binks, how are you doing?
I'm getting there, sorry. I'm not going with the control button. I'm just scrolling through it.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Want to take over, Liddy?
Yeah. She's beautiful, isn't she? Have you seen her laugh?
Not yet, I haven't. At any rate, that color certainly is something else.
God's gift to us. No, she's an angel sent from heaven.
An angel. Ah, yes, I can see it now, Liddy. Her white hair and almost translucent skin. It's beautiful.
My, she opened her eyes! Maybe she felt you nearby. Do you like your father more than me? Is that it, sweetheart? Gorgeous, aren't they? Such a deep, enchanting color. Like two little jewels.
Ah, that they are. A magnificent shade of red. I've never seen anything like it. And this is our child.
She's special. I can feel it. We have to take good care of her.
Good job of doing that.
She needs a name, one that's just as special as her. Have you already chosen Antonin? That's how we said it, right?
I think it's Antoine.
Antonin?
Mm-hmm.
Have you already chosen Antonin?
You were begging for a girl. You do it. Besides, I already had to rack my brain for the boy's name. Now it's your turn.
Are you really going to let... My, that's quite a lot of pressure.
Name her after an angel, then.
Oh, Oh, I like that. All right then. We'll call her Michelle after the archangel Michael. You'll grow up to be beautiful as an angel, my Michelle. I've always wanted a little girl. Hmm.
With her snowy white hair, skin so pale you could see the veins beneath it, and her ruby red eyes. She was a very peculiar-looking little girl, and her mother showered her with love. She truly believed her daughter was an angel sent from above, born as a human child. The blessed babe, born a girl, was given an angel's name, Michelle. Oh, that should be you then.
Me. Isn't it pretty?
Oh, wow.
Checkmate. Oh, wow, this is pretty.
Mm-hmm. I see. That's what you did. Curses. I completely overlooked that. I thought you were advancing with your pawns, but that was all a diversion.
You're too short-sighted, Didier. Didier. You need to look at the big picture. Sometimes it's a tactician and not the soldier holding the sword.
You got me. You're quite good at this, Michelle. What inspired you to take such an aggressive strategy?
It was not inspiration. It was derivation.
Derivation?
Chess is in many ways similar to real war tactics.
Ah, my military texts. You haven't read all of them, have you?
I have nothing but time.
Impressive. Even I haven't read all the books in my room. You planning to join the Order with that kind of knowledge?
You jest. You're the one who's going to be a knight, Didier.
Haha, that I am. War is the men's job, after all. I want you to be there to welcome me home. Oh.
Cute. Who wants to take?
Didier? Oh, Didier! I'm in a bit of a bind, hello there, Michelle.
I didn't know you were home, Georges.
Just got back, yep. Oh, playing chess again, are ya? Let's see, what do we have here? Get away from the board! Yikes, you got trounced, huh? And you call yourself a big brother? As if you're any better.
That's not funny, Georges. I cannot approve of someone who can't keep up with the flow of battle while becoming a knight. Given our family's rank, you would eventually be put in charge of other soldiers.
What, are you worried about me?
No, I'm saying...
I've been blessed with such a caring sister. But fear not. I have a guardian angel after all.
Where's the logic in that?
Sorry to interrupt your moment, but...
Does nobody listen to me?
Now, don't pout. So, what seems to be the problem, Georgies? Yes, listen to this. The royal court is holding a swordsmanship show, and for some reason I was selected to participate. How unfortunate for you. I can already see you on the ground sobbing. Hey now, that's just mean. Besides, my hands weren't meant to hold a sword. Look at these dainty fingers.
They're covered in calluses.
Dainty calluses. Tell me, why would they have an artist sword fight? Hmm, that's the whole point, I would think. No need to get so worked up, no one's expecting you to win. Maybe not, but we do have a name to worry about. And you know what that means, don't you? I'm going to lose, that's a given. But I want to do it in style. I feel bad for your sword. Oh, don't be like that. Now come on, time's a wastin'. To the courtyard we go. Just so you know, if I train you, I'm going to train you right. All I wanted to know is how to look good.
um,
What is it, Michelle?
may I watch?
Fine with me, but you know you can't go outside.
I'll be watching from the hall. I can open one of the windows facing the courtyard.
Still, you need to be careful. You can't spend too much time in the sun.
I know.
Man, those portraits really are gorgeous.
Right? I had 2 older brothers. The eldest, Didier, belonged to an order of knights that served the church. And below him was Georges, who served as a court artist. He was, in all likelihood, who would inherit the family estate, as knights were not formally allowed to own property. Nevertheless, the Bollinger family name was upheld by Didier. And then there was me, the youngest, the only daughter. Physically, I was not in particularly good health. Because of the color of my skin, I was hypersensitive to sunlight. I rarely left the estate. My world was contained entirely within these walls. And perhaps out of some sense of pity or compassion, my 2 brothers spent a good deal of time with me. Didier played chess with me, and Georgie's taught me how to draw. Is it Georgie's or George's?
Let's go with Georgie's.
Okay. And among other things, they taught me how to read and write. For a girl, I was incredibly fortunate. The one thing I wasn't allowed to do, though, was hold a sword. While hardly anything unusual, it bothered me deeply. And it had for as long as I could remember. If I had been told I couldn't do it because I lacked the strength, I probably would have accepted it. But the reason given was not that I was weak, but that I was a girl. And with each passing year, that smoldering frustration in the back of my heart grew larger.
Come on, put your back into it. Like I said, all I want to do is put on a good show. Oh, you'll put on quite a show, unless you unless you learn how to swing that sword properly. Give me a break.
Out in the garden, my 2 brothers traded swings bare-chested. All I could do, though, was observe from afar. And every time I found myself forced to watch, I felt a sharp pain like a needle piercing my chest. A needle that seemed to be growing ever thicker. My mother and my brothers loved me dearly, but that didn't change the fact that the outside world lay in my reach. I was trapped in the estate by my own body. At first, I thought that was the root of my pain. But that answer seemed to contradict something inside me, something something I couldn't ignore, even as a child. So I searched within myself, trying to find an explanation for the constantly swelling sensation of wrongness inside me. Day after day, I gazed into the cavern of my own heart. My. Now what are the two of them doing out there? Georges was asked to do a swordsmanship show at the royal court, so Didier is helping. Swordsmanship? Oh, I just can't stand those shows. Blades are so dangerous. I can't watch people swinging them at each other. Why don't you come back to your room with me, Michelle? I would love to teach you how to sew. But Mom, I want to watch them practice. Michelle. First of all, you need to watch how you speak, young lady. You do not call me Mom, you call me Mother. This is what happens when you spend so much time around boys. As your mother, I don't approve of you playing chess or making art. What's wrong with art? What's wrong with women making art?
Because that involves women thinking.
Ugh.
And we can't have that.
A woman has no need for such skills. They will only make you look insane. But I want, maybe I'll give her an accent. I want you to grow up to be a respectable woman. That is my job and my dream as your mother. Now, come. I would rather you looked at some fine embroidery with me than a couple of sweaty men. Yes, Mother. You are my little girl, after all. Spending time with my mother was agonizing. Was it because her world was so isolated? No, that wasn't it. Her gentle voice, the sweet scent of her perfume, the way she constantly told me how much she loved me, and her diatribes about how wonderful it was to be a... Everything she did put so much pressure on me. But above all, she loved to say, "You are my little girl, after all." And there was nothing strange about that at all. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw the daughter of a noble. That was who I was. So the only thing wrong was how I felt.
We do I have a long time ago set the bot to pick up the B word, since I prefer to use a non-gendered insult, but yeah.
But every time I was faced with the reality of who I was, my heart wavered. I had no interest in learning how to embroider. I didn't understand why that was necessary. I knew what purpose it served. Everything she taught me, I would... Oh, excuse me. Everything she taught me I would need when I was wed off to some noble boy, and it was my responsibility to learn those things. It didn't Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It didn't feel right, though. I couldn't even accept the fact that, one day, I would be married. It was but an ominous shadow lurking in my future. Excuse me. It was but an ominous shadow lurking in my future. I would have preferred ravaging the books in Didier's room than having a conversation with my mother. Tales of heroes of old and dauntless soldier. Military texts written by tacticians in the midst of war. Thinking about them set my heart aflutter and made me think about my brother. He was training to be a... I envisioned armor flecked with rust, a longsword glimmering with the blood of savages. Soon, I found myself in my fantasies, imagining how the sword would feel in my hands. the sensation of the hilt beneath my fingers, swinging it gallantly like my. How heavy was it? How much muscle would I need to carry it? How much impact would I feel in my hands when I struck something? Want to be knight, allergic to sunlight, can't even be a spy. Guess I'll die. How restricted would my vision be wearing a helmet? How much did it weigh? How hot was it inside? I had no way of answering any of those questions, though.
Kill me now.
I have some cloth if you would like to wipe yourself off.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Ugh, I'm so dead.
You were at it for a long time.
I've never known T to half-ass something once he gets started. Which I guess is what makes him knight material, but...
Are you opposed to him becoming a knight?
Well, I'd kinda assumed he'd inherit the estate and handle taking care of everything. So it's like, why'd you gotta go and be some priest whipping boy? Don't tell him I said that, though.
He wants to fight for the greater good.
I dunno. Despite the name, he wouldn't be doing much fighting himself. Anywho, someone as passionate as him might be able to make changes for the better.
Changes.
He knows what condition the Order is in. That's why he's joining. Figure he wants to whip him into shape, melt him down, and reforge the whole thing.
So he might be able to change things.
What? What are you muttering about, Michelle? Whoa, hold it!
The pain I felt in my chest when I smelled the sweat emanating from George's butt. When I looked at his slender but distinctly male build, I was convinced it was admiration. Did I want to become a knight too? Maybe the discomfort I felt was because I wanted to be like him. Would it all go away if he were able to change the rules and I could join the Order as well? I was positive it would. Oh, I love the sprites. Didier.
Michelle, hold on. You can't come barging into my room unannounced. I'm trying to change.
We need to talk.
I said stop! You're a girl. You can't just walk in on a man as he's changing.
I see no reason for you to be so self-conscious.
Listen to me, Michelle.
Georges tells me you're planning to overhaul the Order.
He told you that? No, I hardly have such grand aspirations.
Don't be coy. I believe you have what it takes to do it, Didier.
What's cutting into you? You're unusually fiery today.
So I want to ask you a favor. When you have enough influence in the Order, I would like you to make me a knight.
You what?
I'm tired of the way Mother treats me. Always saying I can't do this or that because I'm a girl. I want to learn how to swing a sword. I don't want to do embroidery. I don't care about jewelry or fancy clothing.
Michelle, what's gotten into you?
I'm so much more interested in the world you live in, Didier. So please.
Well, I suppose we must have let ourselves spend too much time with you.
Not you too. That's exactly what Mother said.
First of all, Michelle, you don't have the strength to hold a sword.
Then I'll train until I do. And if that doesn't work, I still have my mind. You know good and well I could...
People are not chess pieces, Michelle.
But Didier...
But above all, you're missing the most important point. I will not for any reason become the kind of man who asks a woman to take up a sword.
Didier...
This may seem normal to you, growing up with two brothers. But I want you to listen to me, Michelle. Men and women walk different paths. Men wield swords and fight against dangerous enemies. And they do so to protect the weak, women and children. I'm here to protect you and your mother.
You're no different than her. You don't treat me any different than her.
Honestly, what's gotten into you, Michelle? Why wouldn't I treat you like a daughter of the Bollinger estate? Your brother and I, we never meant to make you think.
Forget it.
What?
I'm sorry. I knew what I was asking was foolish.
Oh?
But I thought you would understand how I feel. Even just a little bit! What was I expecting him to understand? Even I didn't understand the things I felt. I wanted to know what had gotten into me far more than he did. What I had done was no better than throw a temper tantrum. Was I that desperate to become a knight? No. I had just thought that the key to the change in my heart lay down that road. But ultimately, there was nothing. Assuming Didier had agreed, and assuming I did become a knight, it wouldn't do anything for the core problem. As I dashed from my brother's room, I snuck a peek at him. His face was filled with an intense perplexity. And how could I blame him? I had tried to push a dozen different ideals onto him at once. Filled myself with the vain hope that he would somehow be able to make sense of me when I couldn't even make sense of myself. And now, bubbling with unwarranted anger at being let down, I fled to my own chamber. I can only imagine how frustrating that must have been for him. It was the spring of my 14th year. Heavy clouds filled the sky, blocking out the sun and giving the impression of late evening all throughout the day. I, for one, preferred it when the sun wasn't out. Same. Not that sunlight would kill me, but if it was bright enough, the world was so white I could hardly see it, which meant I could only go outside on days when the weather made most everyone else gloomy. As I was meandering through the courtyard,
Ooh.
Dad? I spotted someone I had.
Could you
A
reread
dog.
that? Oh! Discord cut you out.
I spotted someone I had never seen before. Oh, is this the one, the girl that he fell in love with and then was married off?
Maybe. Yeah, yeah.
A warm breeze blew past, sending up a swirl of flower petals. The girl's dress hung lightly over her frame, tracing her gentle curve. Who are you? I asked bluntly, and the girl twirled around, smiling.
My apologies. You have such a beautiful courtyard here. I let myself in for a walk.
Long, chestnut hair flowed over round, feminine shoulders. It swayed slightly in the wind. The cloud of melancholy dissipated in the light of her smile.
You must be Michelle. You're just as pretty as I heard.
And you are?
My name is Amy. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Finally, meet me. What was she talking about? As I stood there, baffled by the strange woman, she stepped toward me, kissing me softly on the cheek. Ooh, I like where this is going.
I'm thrilled to make your acquaintance, Michelle.
Her voice was like someone pouring honey into my ear, electrifyingly sweet.
I'm Georgie's fiance.
And if you listened hard enough, that was the sound of Kanetsu's heart shattering into millions of pieces. And it also stuck another needle into my chest. She was a noble girl by the name of Amy Juber.
You know as well as I do. I don't speak French at all.
I want to say Juber. Juber sounds pretty cool. Though only 15, she was the very image of refined, polished to a shape. No one had told me my brother was to be married. It came out of nowhere, and it seemed I was the only one who didn't know. That evening, when the family gathered around the table for supper, Amy was there too, and they prepared an extravagant feast for the occasion. My father Antoine looked so proud of his two boys, Didier soon to receive his assignment, and Georgie soon to be wed. The banquet proceeded smoothly. Not a doubt in the air that we were a happy family, but my mind was elsewhere. I found myself unconsciously chasing Amy with my eyes, watching the way those slender fingers gripped her spoon, her full lips parting to allow a piece of fruit, her deep red tongue visible for but the briefest of moments. The way all the muscles in her face seemed to relax in bliss as sweet juices seeped into her mouth. Awkward sentence. The way she spoke, so soft and gentle, letting each sound hang in the air just briefly before intoning the next. She was distinctly feminine, in a different way than my mother. Apparently, Amy was going to be living at the Bollinger estate for some time. Mother was pleased to have another girl around. Or, more specifically, she was relieved to have found someone other than my brothers for me to spend time with. I had assumed I would hate being around another girl. Surely she wouldn't be able to play chess after all. But for some reason, I felt much less suffocated around her than my mother.
If I try to take it apart, a booby trap will set it off.
I find that word so amusing, a booby trap. Not right now, okay.
That's a lot of blaze.
If that bomb downstairs goes off, it'll be just what Dervahl promised. Smoke will darken the sun as the city goes up in flames. There's gotta be a way to stop it. If that bomb goes off, the blaze will ignite in a firestorm. It looks like a wooden bracket. Not very strong. Help me push this out.
Okay. Brute force, I'm good at that. What'll it do?
Save the city, I hope. But when the blaze falls, run for it. Because the booby trap on the bomb downstairs is gonna get set off.
Will we survive?
Probably not.